I love to read a book and be absorbed in words to escape the...
Hi everyone, I'm going to do the New Year's book resolutions tag. I was tagged by Melissa. Thanks Melissa, big hugs to you. And I'm just going to give this tag a whirl, even though I don't know if I'm going to set much stock by it, because as we know I claimed I was going to do an awful lot of stuff at the beginning of last year and none of that happened at all. And I'm certainly not one to force myself to read when book slumps are occurring, but maybe if I just set a few really loose goals in my head, maybe some of them can happen. Even just a few would be a vast improvement over 2013, so we'll see how we go. Okay, the first question is an author that you'd like to read that you've not read before. Two that came to mind. I'd like to read stuff by Alice Hoffman. I know that Lara is a big fan of her work. She wrote Practical Magic, and I know that Lara really enjoyed one of her latest releases, which sounded really interesting. So it's magical realism kind of writing, and I just thought I'll give that a whirl at some point. I'd like to, ideally. And I'd also like to read some P.G. Wodehouse, because I've never read any of that, and I know, of course, that Leslie's a big fan, and they're classics, and there's so many to choose from. Question number 2, a book that you'd like to read, just in general. Certainly this year I would really like to read The Wild Girl by Kate Forsyth, because I've had it for a while now, and I'm quite curious to see how I go. And I got it signed by the author, so that was really nice. So I would like to read this one, get that read. I'd also really like to read The Snow Child, just to see if it lives up to all the praise that it's received since its release. It's just so many accolades have been getting heaped upon it, so yeah. And just another random pick from my shelves, I'd like to read Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde, because it sounds like a really fun idea, and his writing style I really enjoy. Number 3, a classic that you'd like to read. I've got a fair few classics that I've not read, but 2 that I thought I might be able to achieve this year. One is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, because it's not very long really, and it's such an important essay, like at a piece of feminist literature. I just thought I should certainly look into it, and it's small, so that's got to be somewhat achievable, maybe. Another classic I would like to read is Persuasion by Jane Austen, because it's an Austen I've never read. I know a lot of people really like Anne Elliot as a protagonist. Some claim she's their fave Austen heroine, so yeah, should read this. Question number 4, a book that you'd like to reread. I finally got myself my own copy of The Little Girl Who Was Too Fond of Matches. I don't have it with me right at the moment because I've lent it to Leslie, because I'd love to know what her opinion is on it. But I would like to reread it simply because I'm not sure if I've maybe built it up a little bit in my mind, because I read it for the first time when I was 17, so it's been a while. So I would like to reread that one, and it's only quite short. Another thing I was thinking of is that if I do need some cheering up at some point, and I don't want to force a read upon myself, there's one series at least I know I never had to kind of strain to want to read and to enjoy reading, and that's Anne of Green Gables. I thought I could certainly pick up one of the earlier Anne novels. Anne of Avonlea is always a good one because it's more like a series of vignettes and stuff. It's not that plot-centric. It's just like, you know, lots of mishaps and adventures about town and whatnot, and it's just a very light, fluffy kind of read, and it makes me feel happy, so maybe that could be a classic I could pick up again. Question number 5, a book you've had for ages and you want to read. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I was given this as a birthday present when I was 17. Yep, 17, from my friend Dom, and I've still not read it, and I know that frustrates her to no end. Any wonder. So if this can get read, then I'm turning 28 this year, so it would have been 11 years in my possession. It's really embarrassing. And it's not that I don't want to read it, I do. It's just not happened yet. Question number 6 is a big book you'd like to read. Certainly Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I've tried to start it a few times and nothing's really happened. It's such a monster of a book, but I'm just curious to see what I make of it. I've heard varied opinions over the years. Another one that this is, you know, lower down on my list of priorities, but if I could at some point at least read the first installment in The Song of Ice and Fire, that would be nice. But we'll see. That's not a huge priority, but it's there on my shelves anyway. Question number 7. An author you previously read and would like to read more of. Certainly Neil Gaiman. I've honestly not read that much of his stuff. I've read Stardust, I've read The Graveyard Book, and I've read a lot of his short stories. So I've got stuff like American Gods is on the shelf, and I'd like to get Neverwhere as well. Yeah, I'd like to do more Neil Gaiman, and I need to read The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Question number 8, a book you got for Christmas and would like to read. Certainly my 2 anthologies. I would like to get through stories, or at least read a selection from stories, and from My Mother She Killed Me, My Father He Ate Me, so anthology time. A series you want to read from start to finish, just because I've had these for quite a while, and I've always meant to pick them up, but I've been hesitant because I worry that I'll just find it depressing and morbid and whatnot. But I've got the Forest of Hands and Teeth series by Carrie Ryan, and I've never read them, so given that I've got all 3, at least the series is complete and it's here, so yeah. Question number 10, a series that you want to finish. I really need to finish the Burn Bright series, the Night Creatures series by Marion DePere, which is really embarrassing given that I used to be such a big promoter of it, but I've got the final installment, Shine Light, and I've not read it yet, which is awful, 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 so certainly have to finish that one. I also only just realised the other day that I've got the Study series, which is Poison Study, then Magic and Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder, and I've not read Magic Study or Fire Study, so that should probably happen. I should add that another series I want to both start and finish is I always forget what its actual title is as a series, but Melina Marchetta's Finnegan of the Rock novels. Then there's 2 more after this, and I can't recall at all what their names are. But yes, I would like to read those if I could. Question number 11, do you set any reading goals? No, and as we all know, if I do set any goals, however flimsy and vague they are, I don't pull through on them. I'm not really setting goals this year. Anything will be an improvement on how last year was, so that's the most important thing to me, to just read even just a few more books than I managed last year, and to feel that I'm enjoying them and I'm enjoying the process of reading again, and to be more interactive in the booktube community again, and to be able to discuss books with people again, and that would be, yeah, that would be the best thing I could get out of this year. Question number 12 is any other reading goals, but no, it's really just find the enjoyment again, read a few more books than I have done in this past year, lower my pile of shame even just by a smidgen, no longer feel an overwhelming sense of guilt and shame when I look at all the books on my bookshelves, so yeah. Thank you, Melissa, for tagging me. I'll tag some people, I suppose, but you know, if you've not done a resolutions tag and you're one to make resolutions, you've got a distinct plan for this year, or if you're still deciding and you're gonna kind of plan it as you go along, and whatever, if you want to respond and make your own video, go right ahead. And that's all for now, guys. I tried to upload Cups medley videos today and it just wasn't happening. My singing voice was not wanting to play today, so we'll see if I can get that done soon and get that to you. Thank you very much, everyone, for welcoming me back again and being so sweet and friendly, and it was really lovely to see the comments on the video the other day, so thanks again.